Hey Glowbugs, welcome back to the Glowbug Grove. My name is Firefly and I'm so excited to show you episode 5 today. Welcome on in. Today we're really going to be able to get cozy and take our time. In our last episode we did Echoes of the Unknown and Vault of the Waves in case you need to go back to anything. Today we're going to be placing items on our plot until Eshe visits. We're going to chat with her. We have to reach to level 5 in any skill, fulfill 5 weekly villager item requests, and fulfill 1 player request. I had these little pods in my inventory that I placed on my stairs and then Eshe showed up on my plot. Usually we get these little guys gifted to us when there's an update in the game and I think they're so fun. Now the quest will update and Eshe is here. We're going to chat with her. Eshe tells us that we turned this little eyesore into something presentable. How sweet. So now we're going to tell her that Kenyatta mentioned something about a test. She tells us we have to prove our devotion by talking to 3 distinguished villagers. I wonder who they're going to be. We have to prove our purpose by having a quote-unquote advanced skill. Then she feels we have to prove our generosity by sharing or things are wasteful. Strong Foundations is going to complete, and then you're going to accept prove your devotion, prove your purpose, and prove your generosity. Open your menu and take a look at all your levels and see which one is closest to 5. I would go from there. Remember to keep going to the Phoenix Shrine with your renown because then you can gain more XP towards whatever you're trying to level up. If you do gardening, you can go ahead and harvest some crops, water your plants, and honestly just plant whatever's gifted to you. Go to Zeki's store, pick up some more seeds, water, 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 harvest, harvest, harvest. If you wanted to do cooking, you can also grill on your campfire fish, mushrooms, meat, but there is soon going to be a Cooking 102 quest. If you wanted to kind of pause this quest and go talk to Reth, you'll pick up a Cooking 102 where you put down a stove and a prep station. So if you wanted to pause and talk to him, work on something a little more difficult, a little bit more time consuming, you totally can do that. I am going to be doing a cooking video separately very soon where I will be teaching a little bit more. So if you wanted to pause here, that's totally fine. However, you can see I chose to do foraging because I felt that was quick and easy for the sake of the content. So I went over to Whispering Banks over in Kilima, and there's a lot of mushrooms here, ginger. There are a lot of small forages over in Whispering Banks. Also, these little trees, you can chop them down. They count towards foraging, but it will say that your axe needs to be upgraded for the bigger ones. Over in Leafhopper Hills, you can pick spice sprouts. Those you can see here, it's giving me 17 XP. So that's a good item to forage. Then you can run down by the water. There's a lot of lilies and emerald carpet moss. Honestly, just pick up everything. I know this might sound strange, but it's a good idea to collect the emerald carpet moss, and then down by the water there's the purple lotuses. Collect those because that you can make a fisherman's brew later, which helps you in fishing and also cooking points as well. You can also head over to Bahari Bay. There's mushrooms there. This is a rare forage. This is dairy cloves, and that helps you in cooking. So if you ever find them, save them. You'll be happy you did later on. But here I get my first epic forage. Yeah, these are like gold for some cooking recipes you're gonna want to try later on in the game. So definitely save those. Oh, and sweet leaf. And that was all over in the outskirts. Here is a Sernuk I wanted to also show you because this is later in the game. Just kind of showing you what you can look forward to, a little bit more challenging things, but this is difficult in hunting. You need a certain arrow to kind of help you slow them down because they jump around. So we finally reached level 5 and it says on the right that we can return to Eshe here. Yeah, so we're not going to do that yet actually because at the very end, when we complete all 3, we're going to have to return to her, and I think, in my opinion, it's just better to wait. While we're in Bahari Bay, though, we are going to go see Hodari because he has some recipes that we're going to need very, very soon. The copper bar recipe and also the ceramic recipe. So please purchase those as soon as you can because we are going to need those in order to upgrade in this quest that we're doing right now. Friendly reminder, on your map, the little horseshoe icon is this green sign, and you can travel map to map and also go home using gold. So it's just helpful. You have to go to each villager that you want to try to gift and see what they want. On the left side, you'll see the icon with the question mark, and that's what you're gonna click. Reth and Shane wanted garlic. Kenley wanted grilled oysters. I had the oysters in my storage at home. I think they were gifted to me. Einar wanted a silvery minnow that I found in Bahari Bay. I honestly lost an hour of footage here recording. I'm not sure what happened, but I did want to show you how to ask what they want and then how to gift, which you'll press square for the present icon and your storage will pop up and you can gift from there. While you're talking to all the villagers, there is one thing I wanted to point out. Please remember, anyone who is in charge of a skill has what is called a guild store. For example, Einar has his fishing store where you can purchase a recipe for a standard rod, and that's upgrading your fishing rod. You can eventually buy a worm farm for bait for fishing. We'll get into the details another time, but it's important to make sure you are upgrading to a standard rod, a standard axe. Getting the recipe for the heartwood plank from Ashura would be a good idea too, because that is the wood from Bahari Bay. And here's just a clip of me fishing with my good friend Ashura. I'm sorry to kind of leave you hanging with the gifting. I do feel like the weekly villager ones are always changing, so if you really do need any help, please don't hesitate to ask. Next, you will need to fill a player request, so I just went in the chat and said, can someone please request something simple so I can finish this quest? Thank you. I had a couple people put a request in and I did the copper ore. So yeah, just always say thank you. Everyone's so sweet on here. Now we've completed Prove Your Purpose and Prove Your Generosity. We have to do Prove Your Devotion. So we're going to go talk to Gina about the past, and then we have to visit a ruin in Bahari Bay. We'll check back in with Gina after that. We're then going to have to go speak to Halcyon about the present, and he's going to make us plant 3 trees, and in order to do that, we have to upgrade our axe. So we will return home to do that. When we see Gina, we're going to click on the prompt I wanted to ask about the past. At the end of the conversation, she's going to tell you to go to Bahari Bay to check a memorial site. She tells you that she could tell you what to think, but she'd rather hear your conclusions after visiting. So we're going to go over to Bahari Bay, and when you open up the map, you will see the little icon with the yellow flag and a large green circle around it. That's where we're going to go. You could put a waypoint here and head in that direction. You're going to find a little statue, and there's 3 candles around it. Right next to it is a shiny pebble. You're always going to pick them up if you see them, because that's for something later in the game. But you're going to look at the statue and pay your respects. And it says, "Here lies the heart of humanity, brought to devastation by 100,000 hungers. We who remain shall remember. This is the ruin, using flow and bring. To those who gave their lives for this lesson, we thank you. May these mistakes never be repeated." Now we need to head back to Kilima to talk to Gina. Before we move on with this quest, I did want to rewind a little bit. When we finished Vault of the Waves, we accepted a new quest named Plumehound Pilgrimage. I'm going to add this in here because I'm sure that you accepted this quest too once you finished Vault of the Waves. So that quest, we have to go speak with Halcyon, and when we check in with Gina now about the Bahari Bay ruin we just visited, we're going to need to go check in with Halcyon as well. So we're going to begin that quest too when we speak with him. We can open up our map to find Halcyon, and we're going to chat with him. You're going to tell him you wanted to ask about the present. He is going to tell us that we have to plant 3 new trees on our plot. For us to do this, we have to go upgrade our axe at home. So we're going to return home soon and use our craft bench to do that. And on our plot, we can chop down some trees until we get seeds, and then we're going to plant 3 of them. Now, to begin Plumehound Pilgrimage, you're going to ask him if he's seen any flow batteries. He tells you that he had one, but Tao broke it and hid it, and it might be by his camp in the north. He adds that if you find it, maybe his mom can fix it. So we are going to be doing that in our next episode. So we need to go home to upgrade our axe and chop down trees on our plot so we can get seeds to plant 3 trees. Then we're going to check back in with Halcyon, and he's going to send us to Shane to talk about the future. He will send us to pay our respects with a remembrance candle at the Remembrance Garden. Then we have to check back in with Shane, and finally we can return to Eshe for all the quests. Just to get seeds, we are going to have to chop down larger trees, and here you can see that our axe right now doesn't allow us to do that. A standard axe will though, and these are the items that we're going to need to craft it. You will need your makeshift axe, 20 sapwood plank, and then 5 copper bar. This is why I had us go to Hodari earlier to get the copper bar recipe. Now you're going to go over to your smelter and put in 25 copper because it's 5 copper to make 1 bar. So if you have 25, put that in there, and then soon you will be able to upgrade your axe. Now when you open your tool wheel, it will say at the top standard axe instead of makeshift axe because that's the one you have equipped. Also note that you did earn recipes for repair kits which you can make and then use a repair station to repair your tools. Now we're going to run around our plot, and you'll see when I chop this tree down it says that I got an acorn. That is something that you can plant on your plot that counts as a seed to grow a new tree. And I was also chopping these white ones down, and I got a Samara seed as well. So once you have 3 seeds, you can plant them on your plot. Find a place you can put them on your plot, and then you're going to go right on the D-pad and X to place. Once you place all 3 of them, it will tell you to return to Halcyon. If you want to water them now, you can too. It's just a habit for me to water right away. But right after this, we're going to go catch up with Halcyon. You're going to tell him that you planted the trees, and you can pick which answer you want to give here, but I just said I understand what you mean because I did not feel like arguing with this man. At the end of the conversation, the quest will update, and we have to go talk to Shane now to hear about the future. You can open up your map to locate him, and once you find him, you can chat with him and tell him that you wanted to ask about the future. At the end of this conversation, he's going to tell us that he wants us to go to the Remembrance Garden to pay our respects. He does thankfully give us a candle, so now we can open up our map to find the Remembrance Garden, which is down by the water. Again, you'll see the yellow flag with the large green circle, and we're going to put a waypoint there. We're going to go up these stairs. That's technically a little north of the Remembrance Garden, but we're going to head up those and we'll find where we need to place the candle. You're going to keep going up the stairs and go straight ahead, and you'll see a little stone table with a cloth on it. Pay your respects, and the quest will update. We need to return back to Shane. Open your map and drop a waypoint for Shane, and then we can run in that direction. When we finally return to Shane, we're going to tell him that we visited the garden and we thought it was beautiful. This quest is going to update, and we can finally return to Eshe for all 3 quests. Prove your devotion, prove your generosity, and prove your purpose. If you see Eshe at City Hall, sometimes she's on the balcony upstairs, so you can run into the building. On the left, you'll take that staircase up, and she'll be out front on this balcony. Chat with her. This part may be a little frustrating, but you need to chat with her to tell her you finished each quest. So you're going to tell her I did prove your devotion, and then you have to go back and chat with her again to do prove your purpose. And then once that's completed, you'll chat with her again to do prove your generosity. When you finish telling her about each one, you do have to chat with her one more time to let her know that you have completed all 3 tests. During this conversation, she tells you that she sees that you seem to be settling into the village like a proper Palian. She's glad that she didn't make a mistake accepting you into the village. So finally we ask her, "So I'm in?" She says, "Not so fast. Before you are accepted as a full member of the community, you will need to find something we call a shep, an established adult willing to guide you our ways and accept you as an honorary family member." Aw. This is the quest I've been warning you about, that you have to have a maxed out relationship with a character. I believe it's level 4 that's maxed out. But once you reach that, then you can ask that character to be your shep, and there will be a ceremony. Aw. So that is completed, but a new quest is accepted. Find your shep. This is the quest I've been talking about where you need a max friendship level with a character. So find your chef. This quest is going to take you a while, but basically you need to earn the trust of any adult villager and ask them to be your chef. Before you ask someone, you have to reach level 4 for friendship and you need to complete the level 4 friendship quest. So I'm going to say it again. Pick a character that you like, chat with them, gift them, and as you grow your relationship, you will have little friendship quests to do and complete those, and eventually you'll be able to find your chef. Okay, as soon as I'm done editing this next video, I'm going to be posting it, but it's going all into everything cooking. In my opinion, cooking isn't too difficult right away, but it's a lot to understand at first, so I got you. All right, glow bugs, thank you for watching. I hope you found the video helpful. Keep your light bright.